Well, hello everybody. Welcome to P.B.M. Money. The hits, they just keep on coming. In our continuing story of poor customer service in our business world, and we as individuals trying to stand up and do the right thing and demand at least competent customer service, I've been doing a series of stories here on different places and the experiences, the outlandish experiences that I've had. And I had one a while ago, and this one is on Toyota finance. Now I want to make perfectly clear up front. The Toyota dealership locally, I had no problems with. I had a problem with one of the employees there, and we're going to get into that. Dealership I had no problems with. Toyota itself I have no, but Toyota finance I have a problem with. And here's the story. About 5 years ago I was in a, let's see, it's been longer, 6 years ago, I was in a car wreck. Totaled my car, and I had no money. I mean, the car that I told, that the other guy totaled, was paid for, and I was in the process of saving for a car, but I didn't make a lot of money. I still don't. But now I had no car, no transportation, and I got to have one to make a living. So I went to Toyota and I leased a vehicle. Now, so far so good. So I signed all the papers, got all my ducks in a row, went home, was perfectly okay. I didn't know how I was going to pay for this stupid car, but at least I had transportation. So the first payment comes due, and I go through my paperwork looking for it. There's no place that doesn't tell me anywhere in all of my paperwork. You know, I'm used to a coupon book. No coupon book. No address, no nothing. So I wrote a check for my first payment, and I sent it to the dealership, the finance department. Now, first problem I had is that the finance manager at the Toyota dealership didn't tell me anything about how or where or when to make my payments. He just had me sign papers and sent me on my way. So, when it came time to make my payment, I just assumed it went to the dealership and that he would take care of it because I was leasing it from Toyota, right? Okay. So the first month comes and I send my check to the dealership. Second month comes and I do the same thing. This time I get a phone call from the dealership and they said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm making my lease payment." And he said, "Well, you don't send it here, you send it here." And and he gave me the address, and so I said, "Okay." And so he sent the check, supposedly he sent that check onto the dealer, or onto the main Toyota finance company. Now, from that point forward, I started making my payments. When I found out what had happened, I called, because the finance company was now calling me saying, "Hey, where's your payment at?" And I said, "Hey, I made my payment." And so we kept going back and forth, back and forth. And this is between the dealership finance manager and me. And he kept saying, "We don't have your money. We don't have a check. There's no..." So I had to take a day off from work. I had to go to my bank, get copies of both of those months' checks. I took them out to the dealership, showed it to them, and he still wouldn't do anything. Now I had to get the owner of the dealership involved, and he fixed it on his end. And I said to him, I said, "According to Toyota Finance, I haven't made my payments. But here's 2 checks saying that I did." And he said, I'll make a phone call and we'll see that you're credited for those. I said, "Okay." He said, "But you'll need to contact them directly about fixing your credit because I can't control that. All I can do is make sure that your payments are credited. I said, okay. Now here's where the story gets really worse. So I called the main Toyota finance company, and I don't remember where it's at. But anyway, I called the main company. And they said, yes, we received your payments. The owner of the dealership called us. We've credited your account. Everything's fine. I said, okay, now I'm going to need you to take late payment history off of my credit report. And he said, no, I'm not going to do that. I said, why not? He said, because you were late. I said, I was not late. I wrote my checks on time. The dealership told you that. He said, yes, but I didn't get it. I said, that's not my problem. The fact that you can't control the dealership finance guy is not my problem. My problem is to write my check on time. And I wrote my check and I gave it to the dealership. I want that off of my account. And he said, I'm not going to do that. Okay. Well, there wasn't anything I could do. I'm current as far as they were concerned. So that's the best I could do. So I just made my payments. When the 3 years, it was a 3-year lease. When that was up, I went in, I bought the car outright, again through Toyota Finance, because I figured they had 3 years of my payment history. That was my best chance of getting it financed. And it was, and it worked, and we did fine. I closed the deal, waited a couple of months, and here's where I got them back. Because now they were set to make money on me for the next 5 years off of a vehicle. And I went and financed it at my credit union. So they lost all that money. So Toyota dealership, you did fine. Your finance manager sucks, okay? The main Toyota finance company sucks. They wouldn't do the right thing because he didn't want to take the time. He was willing to do the wrong thing because it was convenient for him. And because of that, it cost him interest on a 5-year loan. And my credit union is now making that money. So good for my credit union, and neener, who's the wiener? Toyota Finance. It's just like State Farm. The people in the home office have no accountability to us, the customer, at all. They don't care about anything except their money. That's it. They don't feel like they're accountable at all. But you know what? That's the last time I used Toyota Finance. Now, I might go buy another Toyota at some point, but I won't finance it through them. Ever. And I recommend you don't either. Because that's the kind of customer service you have to look forward to when you deal with Toyota Finance. Toyota cars are great. The Toyota dealership here, great. Toyota Finance sucks. Don't use them ever for anything. Well, that's about all I wanted to say today. The stories continue with poor customer service. And at some point, and I'm going to close this one like I've closed the other ones, at some point, we, the American people, have to stand up and say, I'm mad as hell and I'm not taking it anymore. There's other places where I can finance a car. There's other places where I can do anything. If I'm upset with my insurance company, there's 100 other insurance companies. If I'm upset with the burger joint, there's 100 other burger joints. I don't have to go to yours. And Toyota Finance has learned that lesson. No, they probably don't care. It probably never crossed their mind why. But I know. And now you know. Have a great week and happy investing.